This is Dr. Matt Barber of Alabama Orthopedic Clinic. We are proud supporters of Ransom Reprogram, Ransom Ministries, and all of the good work that they do in our community. If you would like to learn more about us, check us out at alortho.com or barbertotaljoint.com. You can also hear more from me personally on the Ortho Real podcast. Thank you again for allowing us to be involved with Ransom Ministries and all of the great work that they do.
Hey, welcome to the Ransom Experience. My name is Matt Armbruster, Executive Director of Ransom Ministries. You're going to hear stories from people that we've served and people that serve alongside us, as well as those that we partner with throughout our community. You're going to hear about decisions they made throughout their life and things that happened through different avenues of their life that caused them to go down a path that they didn't see themselves going. And then also those decisions that they have to make on a daily basis to stay away from those decisions that they made in the past. Ransom Ministries empowers people to utilize their God-given gifts and talents in their career and for their community. All along the way, we learn how to help those close to us and also maybe even help ourselves. This is real. This is raw. This is Ransom.
With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head.
This show is brought to you by Ransom Recycling, your number one choice for electronic recycling in Mobile, Alabama. Help reduce waste in our landfills by recycling all of your unwanted, unused, and non-working electronics. Ransom Recycling is a division of Ransom Ministries that is helping to put men and women back to work. Check out ransomministries.com for a complete list of acceptable items. Drop-offs and pickups can be easily scheduled through the website. Please note that we are not accepting TVs at this time. Ransom Recycling, open 8 to 3 Monday through Friday. Help our planet while helping men and women re-enter the workforce.
With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head.
Hey, welcome to the Ransom Experience, where we talk to individuals that are in our program, going through our program, been through our program, and also our volunteers. As we do this, we've got a lot of people that have come on as volunteers, and today I'm joined with Miss Sandra, who came to us a few months ago, and she's been a blessing to us. So thanks for coming.
Well, thank you for having me. Pleased to be here.
So tell me a little bit about Sandra. Where'd you grow up? Kind of how'd you get to Mobile? All that kind of stuff.
Well, that's a very long story, Matt. You don't have long enough. I grew up in Chicago area, a little place called Park Ridge.
Okay.
Went to Maine Township High School, graduated from Maine South. My sole claim to fame is that Hillary Rodham Clinton and I were in the same class.
Wow.
However, she would not know me from the cat. Yeah, very different social circles. Grew up there, got married at 20, very quickly had 5 children in 8 years. My husband at that time was in the Navy, and we moved a lot. I was married for 23 years before the whole thing imploded, and we moved 32 times.
Wow. 32.
32, yeah, it was, yeah. One of my children came home from the hospital to sleep in a cardboard box because the crib had already been shipped. Yeah.
I moved a lot. I never not moved that many times.
No, I only know that because one of my mathematician children counted them for us one day. After that, after my marriage imploded, I went back to school. I have wanted to be a teacher since I was 8 years old.
Okay.
I had an amazing teacher. She will live in my memory forever. Heidi Hawkins. She was my first grade teacher. And they wanted to keep me in first grade because I couldn't read. Couldn't read. But she and my mother tutored me over the weekend, or over the summer, sorry. And I learned to read, and I haven't stopped since. I still have, there's a book in my car. It's that bad. So once my marriage ended, I went back to school full time and held down, again, my mathematician daughter tells me, 7 part-time jobs, still had 2 children at home, and worked 7 jobs, went to school full time, and finally got to become a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher when I was 8. I became a teacher when I was 48. I tell people that because I tell them it's never too late to start.
That's right. Never give up on your dream.
Never give up on what you really want.
So you're a teacher. I mean, I saw that from when you first came in. You wanted to help us with men and women that didn't know how to read. Mm-hmm. I think that's because you had said that you couldn't read when you were there, so that meant a lot to you. So you also helped us with our curriculum, editing, because everybody knows I'm not the greatest English person, and I don't do well with editing and with punctuation.
Spelling.
Yeah, well, we had to point that out too. Spelling. So you looked through that, helped me out with that. Well, that's kind of one of the first projects we did together.
Yes. Interestingly enough, although you don't remember it, I've actually been here a year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it would have been quite
January last year. Wow. During the pandemic, a lot of my other volunteer options had stopped because they were closed, nursing homes, hospitals, places like that. You couldn't go there. And I honestly found Ransom by getting on the phone and just making phone calls until I found someone who needed help.
Wow. I was going to ask you how you got drawn to
I just kept making phone calls.
Yep.
And I found you. And it took a while for me to get my feet under me here. I wasn't real sure where I fit.
Yeah.
But then when it came to editing the textbook and doing all that kind of stuff, I'm like, oh, yeah, I can do this. And so then I kind of morphed into, what do you call me, an administrative assistant.
Yep, you do a lot of the administrative, a lot of stuff. I mean, you carry a lot of hats for us, phone calls, sending out letters, doing all the different things that you do, but also just being here because your wisdom in circle time is invaluable. I mean, it's something that touches everybody that's in here. And I know at first you didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what to expect. We try to figure, and that's kind of what volunteerism is a lot of times we go in and then if we feel that way where we don't know where we fit, then we just go somewhere else instead of trying to figure out where that is, because every nonprofit's different. Every volunteer opportunity is different. And even the people that run it don't really know where they fit until they kind of get to know them and know, okay, what are your gifts? What are your talents? Yeah. It's kind of like a job, really. I mean, because if you go into a new job, you got to just do whatever needs to be done. And then they see where you're going to be the best fit. So I really saw you, move into those positions, and we tried to use your gifts to help us. And it's been amazing for us. And so tell me again, so as you've been here for a year now, mm-hmm. I mean, really, most of the time I'm thinking, oh God, it feels like a year, but you have not, it seemed like less than that because you're just pleasant. You're fun to be around. And you, what I like about you is you're just real, point blank, that you're going to tell me how you feel. I'm going to tell you how, and I think you like that too. Right. And we just tell each other how we feel, and what I need done. And I'm not always the best at kind of getting that across sometimes, but I think you're learning me mm-hmm. and you're learning kind of how I operate. And exactly. So as we've went along, tell about that relationship. Like, how has it worked for you here?
I find Ransom to be a very different environment in that every 90 or 120 days, the crew changes. The people around, except for people like you and Sandy and Mr. Bill, change. And that's challenging and fun, too, to get to know a whole new group of people every 3 or 4 months. But what I do and what I try to do is fill in the blanks. I try to look and see what needs to be done and then just do it. So I feed people. That seems to be my deal around here. Everybody wants to know, what do I do? Oh, she feeds people.
You make us fat with your cinnamon rolls and your breads and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to eat them.
I know, but I have to because I walk by them. Those cinnamon rolls, I must have walked by them 10 times before you know what, I'm just going to eat one. Because,
I should warn you, there are more coming Friday.
And they are very good. So,
Yes,
so as we grew in our relationship, your relationship with the others, tell me about circle time. What does that mean to you every morning? Because you get here early. I mean, what's funny, what I love about you is that you're not on paid staff. You're not any of those. And I've even tried to put you on paid staff, and you tell me that you don't want that. So, and I've had issues with other volunteers sometimes when we don't have, they act like I give them too much, and then, I don't know, they don't feel appreciate. I'm not the best at showing appreciation. You really helped me with that too, by the way, with birthdays. I was terrible about that. And she come in and said, hey, I think we need to acknowledge birthdays. I said, well, you know what? That's going to be your job, because I'm not good at that.
Right ahead.
And you have it all, and you tell us, and we have cards you bring us, and we sign them, and we've done cakes and all that. So tell me how it's been for Sandra. What has it been meant for you to be here?
I will tell you, Matt, the absolute awful truth. The reason I'm a volunteer is because I suffer from chronic depression. I take medication every day, and if I sit at home, it gets worse and worse and worse. I need to get out. I need to see other people, and I need to feel useful.
Yes.
I come here, and there are people here. There are people here who say hello and who seem to be glad to see me. There's always something to do. And if there isn't, I'll think of something.
That's it.
And that, to me, fills me way more than a paycheck ever could. So I'm just grateful that when I come here, I'm welcome.
Yeah. Well, that's encouraging to me, because that's really always been my goal of Ransom, is that it is a family. It's somewhere you can go when you're having the worst day or the best day. Mm-hmm. And you can be honest about that, because, with depression and things, people just don't talk about it. And I think that's so sad that we don't talk about it, because I think it needs to be something that's talked about, and it needs to be something that someone that's going through that has shared their best practices, what they've tried to do, and that's get involved, being out there. Don't shut yourself up in the house, because that's the worst thing you can do. And as you've went, I'm sure there's been times where you have shut yourself in the house and realize,
absolutely,
because the only way we learn that's a problem is actually doing it.
Yeah, we do it badly, and then we go, oh, don't do that again.
Don't do that no more. So you're a great, because we get people coming through here that have that all the time. You've seen many since you've been here that battle depression or mental illness or something that's going on. And really, I'm a firm believer that family fixes that. It's people, not necessarily our blood family, because sometimes our blood family causes that.
Yeah, exactly.
but I'm saying, like, someone that, like you just said, cares. Someone, you have a purpose when you come here. You feel like you're needed. All those different things. And when we're honest about where we are, then I know that that's your way of feeling needed, is me coming in and telling you that, right? Mm-hmm. And saying that and giving you things to do and all that. So many times, if we don't know that you're struggling with that, I might say, oh, no, I'm good. Everything's good. Because then that'll make you feel like you're not needed, right?
Right.
So,
and one of the things that I've learned, and I'm learning it more here, is to be honest about those feelings.
Yes.
And to say, I'm having a bad day. This is tough right now. And people will listen, and other people are over in the corner going, me too. Mm-hmm. And it lets them have permission to acknowledge that some days are not good.
Yeah. Because we don't. What's everybody? How you doing? I'm good.
I'm fine. Yeah.
Feeble,
insecure, neurotic, and emotional. Yeah, I'm fine.
But I think that you're right, is that you give people, when you share your feelings, how you're really feeling, you give them the ability to share that too, and feel like it's okay. And another thing is that when you share it, you're not asking no one to fix it. You're just asking them to listen. There's nothing I can do to make your day better except listen.
Exactly.
And sometimes that's what makes your day better,
exactly.
Or I remember times where you're like, I'm just going to need to go home.
Yeah.
Right. And that's fine. And I'd say, well, okay, well, let's pray about it and then go home, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Exactly.
All right. I'm not going to say, oh no, well, we need to stay here. So I think, tell some experiences you've had, like in circle time, sometime in circle time that we've had.
Well, it's interesting because I didn't feel at the beginning that I belonged in circle time because I wasn't, I don't know, one of the group somehow. So I started kind of edging in on the corners. But then I discovered that whatever it is I have to say in circle time, people are willing to listen. And I think part of that is because I'm willing to listen to them.
Yeah.
And the same thing that you do. You're willing to listen. If somebody's willing to talk to you about whatever is going on, then you're willing to okay, yeah, I have a business to run, but I'll sit with you. And that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. And everyone here, they learn very quickly that they can be honest, that they can say, today is a good day, or today, gosh, I'm real tempted to go back to whatever it was that I fell over the last time.
Yeah.
And people will be there to say, we're here for you. If you need to talk, if you need to take a walk, if you need to go home, we're here for you. And that's beautiful.
That's good. And that's really the whole goal. And for those listening that don't know what circle time, we talk about it almost every podcast, but that you don't know, it's just a time we get together every morning, they get here at 8:30 for 30 minutes, sometimes longer. And we talk about life, whether that be like today's was trust. And you find out that people don't trust people, and we talk about why we don't trust them and why we don't trust certain things. And I think that just getting that out, talking about it, makes you either realize I'm not in this alone.
Right.
Or maybe I should change some of the things I'm feeling, some of the things, not the feeling, but some of the things I believe, whether that be, hey, you struggle with, dealing with your finances or whatever. Well, I struggle with that too. Or maybe I shouldn't be mad about that. Now that I say it, I'm thinking, maybe I shouldn't be upset about that. Yeah, maybe because many times just voicing it helps people heal. And that's just like, therapy or whatever, that's why you go to therapy, so you can talk about those. So in a way circle time is kind of like a group therapy, for lack of a better word. And I think at first, like you said, you'll see them kind of be standoffish on the edges when they first get, but then by the time they've been here a while, they realize that, hey, this is a safe place to talk about things. Right. And I've really been encouraged with you being here. You've made my life easier at times. Sometimes
harder
at times, but we make each other's life harder. But I'm just blessed to have you here, and I'm glad that it means something to you. Because when it means something to you, then it's going to mean something to somebody else.
Right.
So we've been going about 15 minutes, so we'll have a few more minutes. But I just kind of wanted you to give us some Sandra wisdom. Like, tell me someone out there listening that may be dealing with depression or whatever, kind of give them, you've already kind of told them that get out of the house, do the things you want to do. But tell them anything that's on your mind, because we have a lot of people listen to our podcast, and there's a lot of people out there that deal with those same things.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I think the best lesson I've learned from just being around for this long is talk about it. Do not make it a deep, dark secret that you struggle with whatever, depression or drug use or family relationships, whatever it is. Get it out. I've also learned that you keep those kind of things to yourself sometimes because you don't want people to think badly of you. They're not thinking about you 99.9% of the time.
That's right.
And so you saying, I struggle with depression is not going to change the way they think or don't think about you.
Yes.
And I think we do ourselves a disservice when we bottle that stuff up.
Yes. That is a good thing to let everybody out there know, is that just find someone to talk to.
Exactly.
there's somebody out there that'll listen. And hey, if you don't have anybody out there, come to Circle Time.
Yeah, exactly.
Just come up here. It's open to anybody. It doesn't matter. We have people come in. We have business people coming in that talk and make that's part of their week. And you could ask them. We've had a few of those on our podcast that are volunteers, and they come in and they'll tell you how much it means to them. And really, this whole program is not just about getting a job.
Oh, no, not at all.
And you've probably seen that through this year that you've been here, is that we can get anybody a job. It's whether or not we can get this other stuff taken care of so that they can keep that job, so that they can continue and become all that they were made to be. So this is a crucial part of what we do. The Circle Time, the volunteers, people showing up. I mean, they see you and they'll tell you that too. And I've heard them say it. You just showing up and not really having to be here means so much.
Nobody's twisting my arm.
Yeah, and they see that, and they see, hey, if it's good for her, it's good for me.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you being here. I just want you to know how much I appreciate you, even though I'm not good at that. My wife will tell you that all the time. But I think that you're a vital part of what we do.
Well, and I have to tell you, Ransom has been a major blessing in my life. I've met some amazing people. I've made some friends. I have a place to go where people value what I do.
Yes. And you'll always have a place to go.
Thank you.
Always. As long as you want to come.
I appreciate it. Maybe on crutches, but I'll do it.
There you go. That's right. There's been times where I think you probably needed crutches. But,
yeah, there's that.
But so I appreciate y'all joining us today. I know you were blessed as much as we are by meeting Sandra. And if you want to meet her in person, come out, check us out, come out and see what we do. We love to have people come and tour our facility, meet the people that are here, kind of see what we're doing. We invite you to come to Circle Time and just kind of see what's going on there. We love for you to get involved some way, either through volunteering. You can donate at ransomministries.com to help us do what we do. You can give us electronics. We'd love to have you. We also have a resale shop that's open Wednesday through Friday. Come out, shop, really nice clothes. But we love to have you come see what we do and get involved. Follow us on all the places that you do social media. We have them everywhere. Also, rate this podcast, share it with your friends, and help us to grow this and get this message out. Appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. With